rolls. Simple recipe, it's a healthy one. So sometimes restaurants or cafes will do this to bulk it out to make it cheaper, and it's just really, really tasty. It looks weird, but it's gonna be nice. Well, this is quite odd. So we're starting off with one slice of bread. Bread helps bulk it out. It's free, basically. It's free, and it's cheaper than meat. Cheaper than meat. More words have led me today. 2 tablespoons of milk. Alright, that's 2. Very serious times. This will just soak through. If your bread's dry, it'll help reconstitute it, soften it up. Come to that later, that's going inside now. Alright, we're going to take our carrot. Just peel that. Oops. Zucchini's been washed. Now there's a couple of different ways you can do the onion. We're just going to do the simple one today. Watch your fingers though. We're going to chop off that end, leave that part on. That's the part the root's coming out, the hard woody bit. You want a few stringy bits coming out of that. We've already turned the ovens on to 180, or 200. With ovens, if you're ever in any doubt, you're not sure what temperature, just go 180. 180 is pretty much a safe bet. Alright, so leaving that on. Now I'm going to do is grate my ingredients. Let's start with zucchini then. What's that? Thank you. So that's grated. Grate the carrot. Being careful not to grate your fingers. Yep, so carrot's grated. In that goes. And then lastly, the onions. Now this can go everywhere, so just be careful how you do this. Because I just want to break up. You can cut it if you want to, or you can grate it. Having said that, you will cry. What I'm doing is holding that in, just going to flop out, so just carefully. Be careful, because this is where you're going to actually slip. So I've seen, you hit your thumb, you will know it.
Yeah.
Okay. Again. So that's done.
That looks disgusting.
It's going to be very, very nice. Alrighty, so that's done. So we've grated, soaked. So the soaked bread now, we're going to squeeze out the milk. Now keep that milk, we're going to use it later. We don't want to drink it. And just loosely, roughly, just break it up. The smaller you can break it, it feels a bit weird and a bit a bit slimy, but it'll work. Trust me, it'll work. You're going to eat this eventually, yes.
Okay.
Alrighty. Then we take our sausage mince and just one portion, squeeze it into the dog food, doesn't it?
Yes.
And now for the really good part.
Oh no, please don't say that.
Actually, the recipe doesn't call for it, we're going to do it anyway. Put a little bit of tomato sauce. So about a tablespoon or 2 of tomato sauce.
Tablespoon much.
We got a little bit of butter as well.
Oh my god.
Alrighty, now for the fun bit.
Oh yes.
Make sure all jewellery is off. Alright?
Yeah, and your watch.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm not using a hand. Alright, it's going to...
Do you have to use tomato?
No.
Oh yeah.
Now, if you're making this with beef mince, you need to put in 3% of salt. So if you put in 100 grams of beef mince, you need to put in 3 grams of salt.
Why?
That's the ratio that actually works that butchers use when making sausages. This is sausage mince. It already has a whole bunch of preservatives and flavourings in it and stuff. Alright, that is done. Good. So taking a sheet of puff pastry, I'm going to cut through middle. Thank you. And I'm going to put some mixture onto that side. Some mixture onto this side. If you're making up lots of these, the easiest thing to do is get a piping bag. Now I'm going to go to the edges. Don't overfill these. If you overfill them, they won't work. And just then move it along, spread it out. Now that's only about 50% meat, 50% vegetables. You could also, if you wanted this at home, add dried herbs to it, spices, some oregano, basil, those sort of things. Just making it roughly the same size. Yep. Now, I'm going to show you two different methods for rolling these up. Where's my milk gone? That's my milk. Before I go any further though, I'm going to use my milk. Now the recipe says water, but we've got this leftover milk. It's going to glaze it, but it also acts as a glue. So I'm going to put the glue in the middle. So method one, won't be too much meat in there. Just roll it over. Roll it over again. Exactly. Yep. Push it over, and then that's that one done. Lifting it off.
How many would that be?
However many you want it to be.
Colour.
So going on the tray, you do it like that. We can cut it up into small pieces. Now note that when I've rolled this over, the join of the fold is on the bottom. So when it cooks, the puff pastry has a tendency, if it wants to spread and open up, that'll stop it from happening. So I'm going to cut it into smaller bits. Yeah, about that. Now you do want to overflow a little bit. You don't want to have paste sausage roll with no meat at the end of it. So that's one way to roll them up. The other way to roll them up is just go, oh, it's too much in there. Now making sure you don't put, it's too much in this, and that's going to take a little bit out. If the pastry doesn't join, it won't seal, it's going to explode when it cooks. Folding it over again. Now I'm not rolling it over this time, I'm just having the ends meet there. Make sure you take the blue plastic off. I've seen these cooked with blue plastic on, it doesn't work. Having said that, I can't get it off. Alright. I'm going to take my fork and stick it down as if I was doing pasties or something like that, and just squashing it together, and that'll stick it together as well. So two different ways, they end up tasting exactly the same, just a little bit different in the way it fits.
But it doesn't matter what way you put it up, does it?
No, I'm just showing you two different methods, so you can just do whatever you want. On the tray. And then lastly, we need to glaze it. You can glaze with egg, but we have some leftover milk, and this will also work because the proteins in the milk and the dry heat, you get a reaction called the Maillard reaction, which is why it goes brown. It just makes it look better. If you forget to do this step, it won't change the taste, it just changes the way it looks. And then lastly, if you had some, if we don't, you can sprinkle some sesame seeds on there, poppy seeds, just make it really nice and fancy. Nice and golden brown, completely coloured through. Clear juices running out, which tells me that the meat is also cooked. And we're finished. Homemade sausage